Hello, and welcome to the Iron Spoon Kitchen. In 1876 at the Philadelphia Centennial Exposition, most Americans had never seen a banana. They were such a curiosity that a banana tree was a special exhibit with a guard posted next to it to make sure no one took a souvenir home. Here's an actual picture from the Centennial. 20 years later, that guarded banana tree had gone from exotic spectacle to America's favorite fruit. And Fannie Farmer knew exactly what to do with them. Come join me today as we make her banana fritters. I've got everything here from Fannie Farmer's 1896 cookbook. And that was the Boston Cooking School cookbook. And she had learned how to become a cook there. And she had done a little bit of training at home as well, as most women would. But she actually started off, she'd had a stroke when she was 16. And that kept her homebound. But in a way, it helped to lead her to what she would be doing with cooking because she did a lot of cooking at home. And she eventually went on to train at the Boston Cooking School and even became the principal there. But these banana fritters are something I think is going to be pretty tasty. I haven't made it before, but I don't think we can go wrong with this. So we have our 3 bananas, and I'm going to put them through this sieve to get them nice and sieved, I guess. And we have 1 egg, 1/4 cup of milk, a cup of bread flour, and that's supposed to have a higher protein in it, which would be about the same type of flour that was available in 1896. 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a tablespoon of powdered sugar, and a tablespoon of lemon juice. And since this is 1896, we don't have to worry about baking soda or yeast. We now have baking powder that we can use. And so that, I'm sure, is in the larder. So let's see if it comes down. Yep, there it is. So hung up just a little bit, but I think I can get it. Let's see here. Yes, got it. All right. So baking powder, it was common in all households by 1896. And if you want to learn about baking soda, just watch the previous episode on the lemon pound cake episode. So we need, let's see what we need here, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Okay. Well, I think it's time to start peeling these bananas and getting them through that sieve right there. So let me go ahead and get that in there. I really want to take a bite of this right now, but I won't. Let's go ahead and get cooking. I started to use the sieve for this, but it really wasn't going through there too easily. So I thought, well, when I've made banana bread or something like that before, I've never used a sieve. I know it would make it nice and fine, but I just went ahead and got out my big fork here. This is called a Foley fork officially. And so I just started to mash everything together. So come over here a little closer and you can watch me mash. Yeah, I think using this big fork, it's really stiff on the bottom. I think this will work out just fine. Yeah, this is doing fine. Yeah, this is a good stiff fork. It's called a Foley fork because that was the name of the company that came up with it. I've got those bananas all mashed.
Please pardon this interruption. We want to remind you to like and subscribe. It makes a difference. We now return you to your regularly scheduled program.
So now it's time to put everything else together. Here are all my dry ingredients. So I'm going to add those in. And while I'm getting this all mixed together, and I'll be adding my lemon juice, and this is the milk and the 1 egg. Here's a picture of the horticultural hall from the Centennial where that banana tree was on display with a guard. I thought that was particularly interesting. That was so unique that they were afraid people would start taking the bananas off of it or even take off the leaves. And here's a picture of Fannie Farmer from about 1900. And this is when she started to get that, which was principal of the school. But one of the things about her cookbook is that she decided that, and here's a picture of that cookbook, she decided that things needed to be measured. And without her, we still would have a pinch of this and a pinch of that. Now I'm going to add the milk and the egg mixture and the lemon juice. And so she decided, it had to be, people needed to know exactly what went into making something. It couldn't be a pinch of this, a wine glass full of that, a teacup full of something else. And so that was what she was dedicated to. And she changed the way people did cookbooks from that point on. There was no more just, okay, you need flour, you need eggs, and you need sugar. Okay, now put them all together and you'll end up with a cake. Here's a picture of her with a student later on in her life. But as I was saying before, she paid for the printing of that cookbook herself. She didn't, and made 3,000 copies. So somehow she had the money for that. Maybe her parents helped her. But that was pretty impressive, I thought. But because of that, it may have seemed like it was kind of tough at that time to pull that together. But because of that, she was able to keep all the rights to it and everything else. Didn't have to share it with anybody. And then she went on to sell millions of copies. Okay, this is between $3.50 and $3.75, and it looks like it's $3.63. I don't know if you can read that or not. I'm doing this in a smaller pan or saucepan, so I didn't have to use as much oil. This is 5 cups of avocado oil, and let's see if we can just put 1 scoop in there first and see what happens. I've got my last batch here. And let's see how these turn out. It takes about 4 to 5 minutes for these to cook up in here. I think I'm starting to get the hang of this. They're starting to look a little bit more round, at least. Well, here we go. Look at that. Look how nice and round they came out. Yeah. Well, tell you the truth, most of them look like that. Kind of look like geranium bulbs, if you didn't know better. But we're going to taste it and see how they came out. So take a look at this. Remember, banana fritters, not geranium bulbs. Well, let's give it a little bit of a taste here. Take this small one. Tastes like a banana. That's excellent. And it's not sweet at all. Well, I mean, it's a little bit sweet because that's a banana, but I only added 1 tablespoon of powdered sugar to it. So these are not meant to be super sweet like a donut or something like that. And you could, of course, put the powdered sugar on the top. And I probably will do that for some of them. But gosh, turned out great. And one of the things I said earlier that I use the avocado oil, and I use that because it's a neutral flavor. And I shouldn't have taken that second bite. It's a neutral flavor, and it's good for frying. It has a high smoke temperature. So that's why I use it. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's also one of the healthier ones. Well, this has been our 8th episode on the road to America's 250th birthday. And this would be a great way to start out your morning with some banana fritters from Fannie Farmer. This is delicious. Well, thank you for joining me today in the Iron Spoon Kitchen for banana fritters a la Fannie Farmer.